Every week, we're highlighting a topic that you, the parent or caregiver, may be unfamiliar with, but your children and your school boards may not. This week, we're focusing on controversial books in your child's school library, and we hope that today's episode will allow you to make informed decisions about what your child may be reading in school so that you can let your school know whether or not you're okay with that. Stay tuned, and at the end, I'll tell you exactly what schools offer these books. Today we're reading excerpts from The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, which is available in many of our high schools and in one of our middle schools. The Bluest Eye has frequently landed on the American Library Association's list of most challenged books because it contains derogatory and offensive language, sexually explicit material including sexual assault, incest, and molestation, and inflammatory racial and religious commentary, as well as depicting child sexual abuse. The American Library Association has deemed this book unsuitable for school-aged children. But not to worry, you can find this book in several schools across northern Colorado. Apparently, they disagree with the American Library Association's recommendation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far the most disturbing book we've read so far. The following excerpts are incredibly graphic and include content you will probably find offensive. I know I certainly do. They include themes of sexual molestation, pedophilia, and incest. So let's take a look into this book and see just what your children, as young as 11 years old, might be reading in our schools. Page 149. Pecola lost her balance and was about to careen to the floor. Collie raised his other hand to her hips to save her from falling. He put his head down and nibbled at the back of her leg. His mouth trembled at the firm sweetness of the flesh. He closed his eyes, letting his fingers dig into her waist. The rigidness of her shocked body, the silence of her stunned throat, was better than Pauline's easy laughter had been. The confused mixture of his memories of Pauline and the doing of the wild and forbidden thing excited him, and a bolt of desire ran down his genitals, giving it length and softening the lips of his anus. Surrounding all of this lust was a border of politeness. He wanted to her tenderly. But the tenderness would not hold. The tightness of her vagina was more than he could bear. His soul seemed to slip down to his guts and fly out into her, and the gigantic thrust he made into her then provoked the only sound she made, a hollow suck of air at the back of her throat, like the rapid loss of air from a circus balloon. Following the disintegration, the falling away of sexual desire, he was conscious of her wet, soapy hands on his wrists, the fingers clenching. But whether her grip was from a hopeless but stubborn struggle to be free or from some other emotion, he could not tell. Removing from her was so painful to him, he cut it short, snatched his genitals out of the dry harbor of her vagina. She appeared to have fainted. When the child regained consciousness, she was lying on the kitchen floor under a heavy quilt, trying to connect the pain between her legs with the face of her mother looming over her. Page 165. The little girls are the only things I'll miss. Do you know that when I touched their sturdy little tits and bit them just a little, I felt I was being friendly? I didn't want to kiss their mouths or sleep in bed with them or take a child bride for my own. Playful, I felt, and friendly. Two of them, Doreen and Sugar Babe, they'd come together. I gave them mints, money, and they'd eat ice cream with their legs open while I played with them. It was like a party, and there wasn't nastiness, there wasn't any filth, and there wasn't any odor, and there wasn't any groaning, just the light white laughter of little girls and me. And there wasn't any look, any long, funny look, any long, funny Velma look afterwards. No look to make you feel dirty afterwards, that makes you want to die. With little girls, it's all clean and good and friendly. I'm sorry. I need a moment to collect myself before our weekly vocabulary review. Whew. Fortunately, this book contains little vulgarity when compared to the previous books we've read. In this book, you'll find only one ass, one bitch, two coons, 8 and 3 f***s. Well, you can find this book in Thompson School District, Poudre School District, and Greeley D6. In TSD, it's available at Berthoud High School and Thompson Valley High School. In PSD, it's available at every single one of its high schools and Preston Middle School. In Greeley D6, you can find it at Northridge High and Greeley Central High. I hope that you did not enjoy this week's edition of Dishin with D. I hope you were deeply disturbed. And with that, I'll see you next week. Bye now.